now called the art of change, and art is actually A.R.T, which stands for, I totally went blank. The art of change. Action. No. Aim. Aim, release, transform. And that's the difference between traditional EFT. You're trying to hang on to whatever it is that you're experiencing, and we don't. We aim. Look, how do you know? I feel this. I see that. Okay? Then turn your attention to your fingertips. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. It's safe to let it go. Peace. Back and check it. Has it transformed? Is it 100% positive? Is there any resistance to it at all? If there is, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. It's safe to let it go. Peace. Is it gone? Yes. So that's what aim, release, transform. That's the faster EFT kind of code. So the art of change. First thing you need to know is what are you wanting to change. And the girls had asked me to work with budgets and money and all that kind of stuff, which we're all struggling with right now. So first thing is, how do you know you want to change? What do you want? I need a list.
Like what the goal is?
What do you want to be different in your money life?
Savings account.
You want savings, so you don't have savings.
Correct.
Okay, so you want a savings account.
You can have the account. There's
No savings being put in.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll start there. What do you want emotionally about money? What are you feeling?
Security.
Okay, security.
I was going to say control.
Control.
Which is,
For me,
what
it's
that says
relief.
about me.
Freedom.
Freedom. Now, what do you not want? What do you not
Shame.
want? Shame. Which implies that at times you experience shame when you think about money.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What else do you not want?
Fear around money.
Like being tied up, like not free, like no
Enslaved?
choice. Yeah, enslaved, restricted.
Restricted?
Limited.
Yeah.
How about deprived?
Okay.
Okay. Where we usually work from is what we don't want, because that's what we can control and get rid of. And then we convert what we don't want into what we want. So you have a savings, but it's empty for the most part, right? Basically. So we would like to have money in savings. And if money issues bring security, right now we're probably feeling insecure because we don't have what we want to feel secure. Is that correct? So we've got insecurity here, and we're wanting security. And so if control is an issue, control over money, control over budgets, control over situations, then we probably have lack of control is the emotional impact that's happening now that causes us to want control. So if we were in control, we wouldn't want control. Relief. So right now there's stress around money.
Stress or pressure.
Pressure, that's a good word. So we want relief, and we got pressure. We want freedom, but right now we lack freedom. It's almost like being enslaved. We have shame. What do we want instead of shame?
Pride.
Right?
Yes, that's a good one.
Fear, maybe relief, contentment, peace, something in there. Feeling restricted or constricted. So again, we're probably up
Flexibility.
around breathing. There
Flexibility.
You go. Good, excellent. Flexibility.
Limitless.
Limitless or
Limitless.
unlimited.
Unlimited?
Limitless.
And deprived.
Abundant.
Abundant is always good.
Generous.
Okay.
Open.
Okay. So if we start with the negative experiences that we're having, and we clean it up so that we no longer have an emotional reaction to the negative impact around money situations, then when those things pass by our field of vision, we're not responding with stress and attracting more of it to us. Does that make sense? Okay? So this is our place to start. Now this has 2 more columns. Let's take one. Let's take this good one, shame. We've all been there. I'll go off once when it's a voicemail. Shame. All I have to do is think of Dad. Where am I at in my life at my current age? And where would he hope I was? And I can get that I want to crawl under the table feeling. So, can you relate? Can you find shame based on I'm at this point in my life and I really thought I was going to be farther along, even though I live in Oklahoma and things are not as flamboyant as they are in other places economically. So, and I would really love to be proud. And actually, when I talked to my dad about the work I do, I told him one day, he lives in Colorado, but he was here in town, we went to lunch, and I told him about a little boy I worked with in the course of an hour. And as I was telling the story, he started crying. Because he saw the impact of what it is I'm doing to help people. And to help this little boy with this event that occurred in his life, that was a traumatic event, and to clean it up in an hour's time, changed the little boy's perspective of who he was and how he was to be in the world. He was only 13. And would have had an impact on a future marital relationship. And I said, you know, if I don't ever serve anybody else again, I had the beautiful opportunity to do this. And I served this child, and it's done. I've talked to his mom since, and it's no problem. I now coach him about every 3 months on sports. And it's never been an issue again. It's this tragedy that occurred with this child that someone else did to him. And as I told my dad that, and I saw the tears, I had the pride. So I can anchor in the pride, but that doesn't help my savings account. And when I go thinking about my savings account, I see Dad, and I feel shame. So it's not about the work I do, it's about the level I do it. It's about the income I produce from it. It's about the status I hold in an economic world with it. So pride can be tricky because it can be contribution or it can be compensation. So as we go through each of these and clean them up, convert them to feeling only the good stuff, the next stage is to, who am I now that I have this? What would be your ideal savings account balance? That you would just think, oh, I'm good. If I have more than that, that's good, but I'm good with that amount.
3 months of my income.
Okay, so 3 months of income. So if you had 5, you'd be fine with that. Okay, so now who would you be if you could go out on the town or even take a luxurious trip and still have 3 months of income in your savings account. That would feel good. Okay. And the question within this column of who would I be is what bad things will happen if you do that. If you go out and blow extra money, you and Marcy go on a cruise, and you blow it, and you have a good time, and you come back, what bad things will happen that will affect this 3 months worth of wages that you had tucked away in your savings account? You know, that's when the roof blows off. That's when, you know, the car breaks down.
Yeah, you lose a job.
That's when, yeah, you get your pink slip. So if you can access emotionally or even logically what bad things will happen if I have this, then that means you also have triggers around not having this because it's not safe to have it. If I have 3 months of savings tucked away and I'm in good shape and I'm comfortable and I can buy the extra things I want to at the grocery store and I can go to the extra meetups and I can do all this stuff. Once I do that, once that money leaves my hand, I'm going to lose blah, 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 blah. Then you're living on the blah, blah emotional state. So the reason we go here is so we can clean that up too, with fears about this is going to happen, that's going to happen. What would yours be?
I think I'd be afraid if I was rich that I would become snobby and treat people bad.
That's a good one. Of course, that's what we say about you when you're not here. Marcy said just
That's why I'm always here.
Yeah. She had, yeah, we talked about Amber, didn't we? Yeah.
That's fine. I can take it.
No, she came back. So, yeah, wealthy people are not good people. So then we have to look at all the little pieces of that say to be wealthy is to be rude, to be wealthy is to be a snob, to be wealthy is to be snooty, to be wealthy is...
And you undo all those.
And we undo the emotional programs that say, this is the reason I cannot allow myself to grow wealth. Does that make sense?
What if I can't think of bad things?
You don't have to think of them, you just have to know that you feel that there's some resistance there.
Even though you don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to know what it is. And you never have to say what it is with Fast EFT. We have content free. So it'll look clearer in practice.
Okay.
The last column is once you've accomplished this, who will you be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, having accomplished this tomorrow?
Oh, I would feel.
What would your life look like?
Yeah.
How would your life feel? How would you make decisions differently? And then we take the good stuff about here and we look back on the steps we took when these were the issues, and we clean up any residue, any resistance that's left. Now, the art of change is the schematic that we use for any issue. Because wherever you're putting your emotional attention, remember our Ben Franklin scale, positive on one side, negative on the other, or vice versa. That if it would be, you know, if I had 3 months, I'd probably feel a 7. That'd be good. I could get up a 7 emotionally. But if I couldn't pay the bills tomorrow, you know, that's going to be a 15. That's where you're putting your emotional attention. That's what you're going to attract into your life. That's the filter and the belief system that you're using to make decisions and to process things. And this is where all the magnetic attraction is.
So if I'm so afraid of not having money, then I'm more likely to spend it to put myself in a situation that I don't have it?
Or not attracted to you. Or not realize opportunities you have that could be money making, because to you, through your eyes, they look like only places to get ripped off. They're not safe. Exactly. We always work from a place where it feels safe. Because the program is to keep us safe.